So, hi everyone. Good morning, India, and good evening, US. It's about 10:30 CST. It must be about nine something in India, 9:40 ish. Um,
Yeah.
we are here to welcome the audience who has gathered here for the fantastic Alteryx demo slash orientation session. And we were chatting about all the kind of questions that people have asked us in the past, and we're going to cover some of them. And we're going to look at a little bit of look and feel demo. So over to SK for that part. So SK, how do we do
Yes.
this? Should we do it in a question answer
Yeah.
format or
So
whatever you
first,
prefer?
yes. No, no. What I was thinking is first I'll give a brief of Alteryx, what it is and how it goes, and then I'll show them some huge cases, and then I'll go to market prospect.
Fabulous. Am I
Okay.
allowed to say Yahoo? Yahoo!
Yes.
Yes, let's do it.
So,
Let's do it. All right.
mhm. So guys, just wanted to before starting it, just wanted to know how many of you are completely new to data. I mean, you are not, you don't know Excel, basics of Excel at least. Anyone? Okay, I'll take it as a yes. I'll take it as a no. I believe everyone here is good with Excel. So that's what the prerequisite of Alteryx is. On a high level, what I would say Alteryx is it is an ETL tool. Extract, transform, load. You can extract data, you can transform data, and you can load it. There's just a single component of Alteryx. Apart from that, we also have it is also a automation tool. One second. Yeah, it is also an end-to-end automation tool. You know what? You don't need coding language, any coding language to learn Alteryx. It's just a drag and drop tool. Just drag specific to you have multiple logics, multiple tools built in Alteryx, which enables end users to automate their day-to-day tasks in a drag and drop manner. So maybe I'll share my screen and show you guys the interface of Alteryx, how it looks. This is this is Alteryx. Nothing much. You have everything in the canvas. We call it as this is tool palette, this is configuration window, this is result pane, this is our canvas. So there's not much coding language, as I mentioned, there's not much coding language required to learn Alteryx. All you need to do is drag and drop few things. For let's say I need some Excel to be inserted into my uh, piece. So what I'll do is I'll just drag and drop it here. That's it. I got Excel. See how simple it is. So we have more than 100 tools available. Each tool is segmented based on its category, how it's being utilized and what. Like this is all about preparation tools. So to prepare the data, you might need multiple tools, right? So for each tool, we have description and what it does and all. We can go through each tool and understand the high level overview of that tool. And if you wanted to get any particular tool into Canvas, you can just drag and drop it. That's it. Drag, click, drag, drop. By dragging and dropping, you'll get the output as required. So here we have joins, parse. As I mentioned, we have multiple tools. We can go through that slowly moving forward, but I just wanted to give you a high level understanding of how the tool interface looks like. This is what the interface looks like here. So till this point, do you guys have any doubts, any specific questions about the interface, about drag and drop functionality? Yes, no, don't know. Anyone?
No question.
Okay, no questions, right? Okay. So that is simplicity of Alteryx tool. And let me next show you what uh uh, what use cases basically we can do it. Like we can, let's say we are doing some automation using Python. If you wanted to do the same in Alteryx, let's say it's taking like 4 to 5 days in Python. If you wanted to do the same thing in Alteryx, it will hardly take 4 to 5 hours. That's it. That simple Alteryx is. That's how much user friendly Alteryx is. And any guess how much the costing of license of Alteryx would be? Any guess? Apart from who already know, apart from Akriti, Arun, Prem, anyone else? Just give me a guess number. That's in dollars, by the way. Just give me a guess number. The licensing cost of Alteryx per license. Just give me a rough number. Okay. Just give me some number, right, man. As per your understanding, right? Give me a number. $100. Okay. Next. More than $100. $350. More than that. $500. More than that. Okay. Okay. We have many answers. So the costing is $6,000. $6,000 per license. That's how costly Alteryx is. You know why Alteryx is getting paid? Alteryx developers are getting paid too much. The point behind that is like the cost of license. It's a premium tool, and the cost of licensing very much. And the companies which are using it, they don't bother about the CTC. Like if they're giving you like $6,000 worth of license per user, then CTC is something they can expand based on the skill set. That's the reason why we have demand of Alteryx so much. Currently, we are not that much aware of Alteryx, but the demand is too much, but the supply is very limited currently. I can't say the same thing after 4 to 5 years. At that point, there might be some new tools and other things which might dominate Alteryx. But this is what is happening currently. We have too less supply, demand is too high. The same thing happened with Power BI like 4 to 5 years ago, and that is happen. And Power BI developers got paid here and there at that point 4 to 5 years ago. But that's what is happening now with Alteryx. So I would say this is the right time to learn Alteryx. So some people from you might have questions like, what's job market? How is the job market? How many jobs do we have? So for that, what I'll do is I'll just go for Naukri and I'll search for Alteryx. So today I have 40,776 jobs for Alteryx in total. So what are the some people might also ask me, what are the departments in which Alteryx is being used? So there's no such limitation of which department Alteryx can be used. So we have engineering, we have data science, we have marketing, we have customer success, we have business development, finance, accounting, you name it, and we have it. Alteryx is being used by almost many companies, and it is for sure used in every department. NVIDIA is hiring rapidly for HR analytics for Alteryx developers. Big Four, they hire a lot for analysts with Alteryx skill set. So you might also have some questions here in regards to location. Location is not at all a barrier. We have opportunities in all locations throughout. Packages. Let's see. It goes for 5 plus crores, but I'm not sure about it. But average package is around 10 to 15 for like what 0 to 2 years of experience people. It's 10 to 15 now, but that might reduce after 4 to 5 years for freshers. The reason behind that would be, yeah, yeah, Arun.
No, I was just saying that um, lot of companies or lot of even clients, what they're doing is, I have seen that they are using Power, even if they have Power BI or Tableau, they are still using Alteryx because certain things are very easily done in Alteryx. So they're using, let's say, Power BI for basic visualization, but they're using Alteryx for all the workflows.
Yep. So Tableau and Alteryx is very good combination. So if you search for jobs with Tableau and Alteryx, right, you'll get up n number of opportunities. Even JP Morgan and PepsiCo, EY, Deloitte, KPMG, these all people prefer a lot if you have Tableau plus Alteryx download. Because see, Tableau is also a paid license, Alteryx is also a paid license, and if you are working in a consultancy firm, then and where the budget is not a restraint, they'll go with licenses for Tableau and Alteryx. So combination of Tableau and Alteryx is very very good. SQL, it is mandatory in all departments. Tableau, good to have. Alteryx, very good.
SK, one thing you said which is very, very important is about demand and supply. So, for example,
Yes,
let's say there are 100 graduates from XYZ school. Let's say they are
yes,
engineers or MC or BC or BSc or whatever stream they're coming from.
yep,
Because if you release one Power BI ad or one Tableau ad, you will see 10,000 people applying for one job, right?
exactly.
However, when you release an ad for Alteryx data guy, then
Mm.
you may not have 10,000 people because again the
Obviously,
demand
yeah.
is
So
the
that's what is
demand is
happening
high but the
currently,
supply is less.
Yeah,
And which is
exactly,
why if I'm in the queue, let's say I'm in a queue of only I know only Power BI or I know only Tableau, I'm in that queue. Now your number, depending upon your experience, your number may come after a long time. But if you knew all tricks, you'd be the top five people who be selected for the job.
exactly. So that is one thing. Another piece would be, uh, you might see many posts in LinkedIn or Naukri where they are looking for 0 to 1 year, 0 to 2 years experience people for Alteryx. And those posts, it's very hard for them to fill in because see, as a fresher, they don't. It's very hard as like at least with 1 year of experience into Alteryx, it's very hard for them to find it because there is no supply for Alteryx uh, people. So if even with uh, I would let you know a recent example. In my recent batch, there's a student named Shiva Kiran. He was into operations for the past 1 year. He did join it artist and he practiced a lot. He was going through all the sessions. He attended everything. He completed all the certifications, and fortunately, he got he got a call from Deloitte. Interview one was scheduled on Tuesday, not Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, and they were very much impressed that interview two was scheduled on Friday itself. He got confirmation from HR about his job on Friday, and he's awaiting offer letter, official offer letter. Package and everything is already decided. So his current package was 5.5 lakhs. He got offer from Deloitte for 14.5 lakhs. See how much uh, rise it is. He was
Man,
from
that
operations.
that's
From
a,
operations, he shifted to data analytics.
it's almost like 200-300% hike. I mean, it's just pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Even
So
though he
that's
did
not
not
that's
have like
something.
10 years experience in
Mm,
Alteryx or 7 years experience in Alteryx. So that is the power.
yes.
That justifies itself. And SK, could you tell us, because we have heard that in majority of the finance companies, investment companies, especially in Big Four, there was an article sometime back. I cannot find out the article, but there was a huge article where everybody said the Big Four, especially, are loving it. Of course, you've seen. I mean, in Shiva's case, it was Deloitte, and You know,
Yes.
SK, one more thing. I'm saying two things at one time because of excitement. The
Yeah.
second thing I want to say that I was amazed to see how many of your students, I mean, there were 10, 15 names pretty easily, who, while they were doing your course only, you taught in such a way that everyone, 10, 15 students have cleared different kind of certifications because they found it
Obviously,
easy
yeah.
along with the
Yes.
course.
Yes,
Okay.
certification piece, see, that certification something to which will enable you to get the interview call. Certification will enable you to get the interview call, but in interview, you need to act as your experienced person. So to
Right.
get that knowledge, you will need to practice. And obviously, like if you are attending my sessions in time and you are practicing everything after the session, it will hardly take 20-30 minutes after the session every day. And if you're doing that, it's very easy to crack the certifications. Certification is
So
only a
SK,
single piece of learning. Yes.
yeah. So SK, can you
Certification only
share
a
with
single
us?
piece of learning. And
Hmm.
apart from certification, I always recommend people to do the huge cases and complete assignments and everything which we cover. Most important piece is when you learn from certificate perspective, the learning is different. And when you learn from corporate perspective, that's completely different. In certification, there is very limited, like whatever I teach, only 30 to 40% is enough to complete the certifications. But apart from certification, you should be in a capable position to answer in interviews such a way that you should seem like you have like 4 to 5 years of experience in interview, irrespective of how many years you have. You should seem like you should have pretty good experience. To get at that
SK,
point, you need to practice
yeah.
everything. Yes,
SK,
Arun.
one thing I totally appreciated about you in person was that because
Mm.
you have been taking a lot of corporate batches as well. For example, I think you took Coke or Pepsi was one of those, right? And many
PepsiCo, UST, and L&T. Yeah,
got
currently
you.
L&T is also going on, and I took many in the past as well.
And previously you had
Mm.
mentioned some finance, for example, JP Morgan, they occasionally reach out to you and say, do you know of some good people who have done Alteryx? Or if
Yes.
you are teaching a corporate batch tomorrow because you have been their trainer, people reach out to you and say, hey, can you recommend some of the good students? So I've seen a lot of
Yep.
posts you have posted in the past 1 year where you have asked, hey, does anybody know this? And we have had problems. The COE has had problems. What kind of problems? We are not able to, if I say I need one Power BI person, I get 20, 50 ads, 100 people responding to me. The moment I say
Yep.
Alteryx, but
No one
if they
comes in. Yeah.
knew, if
So the
they,
problem here
if,
is,
yeah,
uh,
if they knew
the problem
Alteryx,
here is
they would
we
have
have
got
we
money
have
like
many.
fast on day one.
Exactly, exactly. The problem here is the awareness about Alteryx is very less. First point, and second point is, recently I think I have shared few resumes to Amazon, not direct payroll, but we are third party payroll. Amazon is also hiring for Alteryx. I have shared 4 resumes with them, and I think out of four, two are already confirmed. We don't have official information yet, so I didn't share it with anyone yet, but it's like most probably will get confirmation from them as well. So what my point would be, I have many connections and everything, and whoever reaches to me, I obviously my first preference would be share resumes from COE community and current batches. The problem is we don't have skilled people who are aware
Got
of
you.
artists for that requirements, so it keeps on extending extending it, and it
So
goes
SK,
far.
please tell us about. So if there is a person who is a graduate and he wants to join
Mm.
Alteryx, he can be a graduate from any stream. He can be a science student, commerce student, art student.
Yep.
There are engineers. So can you tell us if only engineers can do it, or only uh, computer science guys can do it, or anybody can do it?
Anybody. Just to give you a live example, people are hiring for Alteryx with LLB background too. So Alteryx is a tool that enables you to perform your task in a better manner, perform your business in a better manner. And to do that, you should have good knowledge of your core. If you are from MTech, MCA, any background, you if you learn Alteryx, you'll definitely get into a good job. That's for sure.
So, so
And as
SK,
I mentioned, yes,
yeah. No, so
as I
sorry
mentioned,
to
there's no background specific background needed. B pharmacy, MBBS, LLB. These all are the examples, live examples. If you can see my screen, these all background people are hiring for Alteryx.
got you. So if there was a person, because a lot of people they learn some Excel, they learn some SQL. Is it
Mhm.
helpful? Suppose I have done those two and I want to learn Alteryx. I- is it beneficial to have learned SQL and Excel as well, or Alteryx?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
So there are 2 points here. First, what is mandatory? Nothing. Nothing is mandatory to learn Alteryx. Second, what is good to have? SQL is good to have. Excel is good to have. But to
Mm.
learn Alteryx, you don't need any prior knowledge. If you have basic understanding of Excel, that's more than enough. I teach in such a way that we have CA students in our batches where they are not that much aware of any technology. They just know basics of Excel. So from basics of Excel, we go and then we make them do their workflows, make them do their apps. We can build multiple applications using Alteryx, make them do their application and stuff, and then make them proficient and complete their certifications and get interviews scheduled. So there's no such requirement as a prerequisite to learn Alteryx. It's open. Anyone can learn it.
So, SK, I just saw one of your students, Akriti Gupta. Now, she had
Yes.
transitioned from I mean, she had previously done Power BI and some other things, but now she was a non IT person. She had specialized in finance. But I saw a very
Yep.
good article from her journey of transition, and I shared it with many groups. So I was so happy to see that not only she was able to learn Alteryx, but during the course she was able to complete. I think she has done three certifications, and many of your and she's not the only one. Many of your students have done three certifications in your course. How is that possible? Like, uh, uh, because I think there are
Yeah.
three different certifications that you're teaching within the course itself.
Yes, yes, yes. So what I normally do is first is learning and next implementation. Learning, I'll teach you. Next, you need to implement it. So how do we
Okay.
make sure that you are getting into calls and everything? Implementation is in multiple manner. First, implement it in your workflows. Second, showcase your knowledge via certifications. So you guys, whatever I teach in sessions, as I mentioned, just 30% is more than enough to crack the certifications. And I'll make sure that you are completing your certification on the go. Let's say we have completed 5 to 10% of our sessions, which can complete with which we can complete certification A. So I'll tell you to complete the certification by this day. It's good if you complete it, and after some time, if we are facing some issues, we also do a live session where certification will be completed live by someone, and other peoples except me will be supporting you guys there. So this is how I do, so that everyone will get a hang of certification, and they will get confidence that they can crack it. The main point here is for interviews or cracking any certification, the main point here is confidence. You know that you are not aware that you know all these concepts until you complete any certification. To get that confidence, you need to practice and you need to try it out. So most of the people are afraid that might not be able to do it or something like that. Most of the people are afraid in interviews as well. This Shiva is itself. I taught few concepts. I repeated those concepts 4 to 5 times, and same concepts they asked in interviews. He was not. He said whatever came to his mouth, and supposedly that was the correct answer. He remembered it because he heard it from my mouth 5 to 6 times. So that's the
So,
exact wording what he mentioned to me. Yes.
So, SK, one of the questions that many of the people ask in the COE when they are new, let's say they know Excel, maybe some a little bit of SQL. What they ask
Mhm.
us is, and I wanted your particular opinion on it. They say that
Mhm.
in Power BI or in Tableau, we get a chance to build some projects. We can showcase it. So in Alteryx, what kind of projects can they make if they want to go make a project? And is it
Okay.
helpful?
So yes, yes, we can make multiple projects there. You can make sales analysis, you can make HR analysis, you can make. So we have hundreds of projects, open source as well as private. I personally make sure that every student picks at least 2 to 3 projects by himself. Of course, we'll cover 3, 4
So,
projects in sessions
so
as well. But apart from that, I make sure that they complete 4, 5 more course this huge cases by themselves. Yes, Arun, you're saying
So,
something.
so some people ask us again. You see, some
Hmm.
people say, SK, I am from a sales background. I have done some
Okay.
MBA in marketing. Some people say,
Hmm.
I have studied commerce. Some like people like
Hmm.
Akriti will say, I'm a semi-qualified chartered accountant. So I want to learn how to make finance projects. Somebody might come and
Yes,
say, I want to understand how Alteryx is used in SCM. So
yeah,
people can come from any domains, and you always tell them that you should make 1 or 2 projects from your domain, but you should also try to
exactly,
have 1 or 2 projects from other domains as well. So
exactly.
so how uh, at what point do people start making basic projects in the course?
Yeah, so they can see. Uh, Initially, I normally what I do is I don't tell them to make their own projects initially. First, first point is they need to get the confidence that they can complete these projects and everything by themselves. To do that,
Got it.
we have few assignments in line. After completing the assignments, their next step would be get your day-to-day work, what you're doing day to day, which you think could be automated, and pick that work, automate it in Alteryx. That's the simplest project which you can showcase in your resume. You know,
Fantastic.
that's one
So
one
basically,
best
so
project.
basically,
Yeah.
first I must understand. So let me understand my own words. So first
Yes.
I'm learning some foundational concepts, and I'm able to do some routinely asked tasks in Alteryx, and one of which is automation. And then once I
Yep.
mastered that, then I can try other things, right?
Exactly, exactly. Try it in your own domain, from your own domain. I'm sure everyone might have done their business work there, and pick some scenario from your business work, and you can automate the same thing from scratch. If you don't have any business case study, we have multiple concepts and projects, open source projects, and I have few prepared for other people's in the sessions, which I normally share for them to showcase in their resume based on what domain they're targeting to.
So one of the students was saying that when you go to YouTube or you go to Udemy or you go to some other Tom, Dick, and Harry places, people are doing same COVID project, Netflix project, pizza project, some other all. So these 3 or 4 basic projects everybody does, and the recruiters are very tired of seeing them. So
Yeah.
uh, can you recommend SK some of the different type of projects that people should do in Alteryx to be known better?
Yep. So best project would be the differentiator between other tools and here is like spatial analytics. Spatial analytics is something which can analyze geographical data. Let's take an example here. Let's say you have multiple latitude and longitudes, and based on the latitude and longitudes, you need to analyze the data, prepare reports, and you have a scenario where you need to set up multiple branches. You need to know you have certain conditions like this every branch should have at least a radius of 5 kilometer. Each branch should not fall in the radius of 5 kilometers of the stub. So these kind of projects are something which are very unique to Alteryx. You know, Spatial analytics is something which is very unique to Alteryx, which is very different to Alteryx, and the efforts needed to build such kind of analysis is very low. I think I have a workflow here which has
There
spatial
was
analytics. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one person in our group. He was asking a very fun question. He said,
Hmm.
I definitely want to learn how to do spatial analytics. I definitely want to utilize in finance or whatever area that I have some background in, but I want to use Alteryx for fun also. For example, currently the Paris Olympics are going on, right? 2024
Hmm.
Olympics are going on. He said, I want to combine my basic knowledge of Alteryx as well as a little bit of Power BI. I want to do some basic visualization. I want to show some kind of a dashboard for Olympics medals for the countries.
Yep.
So he
Yeah.
was asking, is can we ask SK if that was possible in Alteryx?
Yeah, that's already been done by many of my students who are interested in cricket. So many of the students were interested in cricket, and they downloaded data sets. So you know what? All you need to do some analysis is data. If you have the data, you can do anything. you know so Shiva is one of example, and Nikhil Uppal is other example who did projects on cricket data sets, some on FIFA data sets. So you can visualize and you can create dashboards in Alteryx, but there's a limitation like interactiveness and other stuff you can't get in Alteryx for visualization. Alteryx is
And
not a
one,
visualization tool, it's a ETL tool. So for visualization, companies prefer on a high scale prefer Tableau or Power BI, but for ETL
gotcha.
they prefer Alteryx. Yes,
Yeah. So one of your students had given us a very good seminar some time back. His name is Arijit Sadhu.
Narjit Sadhu.
So
Yeah.
he told us how he utilizes Alteryx in banking area or finance area
Yep.
as well. So I mean, I am so proud of the many students who've been there from your batches and who have proudly displayed their projects, or they're using it in their work, and they continue to come back and give us seminars. So I'm so proud of all this happening in the COE. um, so at this point, let us pause for a couple minutes and see if the audience has any questions come up, and then we can cover more questions. Like we can talk a little bit about how how long is the course, or what is being taught in the course step by step or week by week, or some just a basic idea. But before that,
Yes.
let's pause for a couple minutes and ask the audience if they have any questions. So please go ahead, audience. Anything that comes to your mind regarding the seminar, please feel free to ask it. You can unmute yourself, or put a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Hi, SK. My name is Prasad.
Hi. Hi,
Uh,
Prasad.
so, uh, so I would like to know a few things about Alteryx. So, this is the
Okay.
first time I'm seeing the interface. So, basically, we have other ETL tools also in the market, right? So, what is the
Hmm.
amount of Alteryx share in the market? So,
So it's
compared to
very
the,
much. Yeah, it is very much. So I think we have some image from Arun. So Artrix is in the ATL. Artrix is the top. You might not have heard it, but it's moving very rapidly to the top segment. Currently, Arun, do you have that image handy? We have like graph where we
Yeah,
showed a
if you go to
market share.
if I go to Alteryx.com or Gartner, it'll show you it's one of the emerging leaders in the field. And the biggest thing is, it's not about the market share. Market share will remain the same for next 4 to 5 years. The point being that the demand is high and the supply is low here. So there are more and more chances. If you spend couple months with Alteryx, you will get a job faster than getting a job in Power BI, because the moment I release a Power BI ad, 10,000 people apply. If I release an Alteryx ad, maybe half the number would apply because the supply is less.
okay, got it. Thank you. So, I have one more question as well. So,
Hmm.
when I'm just did a Google search, what is Alteryx? It is like an ETL tool. So I got the
Mhm.
response. So the ETL tool as well as it's a data visualization tool. Can we say like
No,
that?
no, it's not data complete data visualization tool. Yes, we have capabilities in Alteryx where we can visualize data, we can perform few visualizations, but it's not a complete visualization tool. We have capabilities, but it's not visualizations completely.
Okay. Since this is my first session actually, so I'm trying to
Hmm.
understand what it is. So that means you whenever we have a raw data, so it will give us the
Hmm.
some kind of data pipeline to understand.
Exactly,
So what is happening in the particular scenario, right?
exactly. ETL itself means extract, transform, load. You can extract data from as many sources as you want. Let me show you an example here. I'll open input data and I'll open its sources. So these are all the sources.
SK, I think
I
your
hope
voice
my
is
screen
breaking.
is visible
Yeah, your voice was breaking. Could you repeat
properly.
that last sentence you said?
These are all the sources from which we can get data. Apart from this,
Oh, SK, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat the last sentences?
we
What you
can
told?
get data from other multiple sources too. For that,
SK, I'm sorry. I think your voice was breaking. So we would like you to
yeah,
repeat
sorry.
the
Yes,
last.
let me share my screen again.
I think
Uh,
you were saying that you can connect to multiple sources as well.
exactly. We can build custom macros where we can connect to multiple sources, which is not available in this list. So you have 40 plus 30 to 40 plus sources listed down here. Apart from this list, if you wanted to connect to any other list, you can connect to that using custom macros. You can build custom tools, which we basically call it as a macros, which we'll cover in depth, very in depth in our sessions. And using those macros, you can connect to any tool. I hope we are clear.
Yes. So apart from this Alteryx tool, do you have
Mhm.
any skills also needs to be required for this, like SQL or Tableau or any Power
Yeah.
BI?
So SQL is something which we require in all fields. SQL is very good to have, and Excel is very good to have. These two are very good to have. Though rest all, it's not that much needed. If you are looking for some ATL developer, if you are looking for some Alteryx developer, SQL is something they think it is good to have. But again, in SQL also, you don't need to learn everything. You just need to understand ETL concept. ETL matlab just transact SQL. So
So how
how
to
to
how to
extract
retrieve the data
exactly,
from
exactly.
how to manipulate it for the system?
Manipulation is also not needed.
Okay.
Retrieval path is enough. SQL in SQL, select clause, where clause, having clause, and top and few clauses. Just extraction piece is required.
Okay. That's great. It makes sense. Thank you. Thanks, SK. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a question. How does it differ from SSI, IS, and Fabric? I'm not that much sure about Fabric and SSIS, but probably the main difference would be how easy it is to learn and how easy it is to implement and how easy it is to maintain your applications and your workflows. If you build some applications or if you build some uh, workflows in Alteryx, it is very, very easy to maintain. And it is very, very easy to replicate or let's say you have some VBA script and VBA is taking a lot of time to load it and run it. The same thing you can replicate in Alteryx in very less time. And Alteryx, let's say you have some data of what uh, 8 to 9 GB CSV file. So that data If you try to open in some other source, it might take a lot of time. But in Artrix, it will be loaded in like what, seconds, within 5 to 7 seconds. And if you wanted to perform some actions in it, it will perform it. It will, if you build some workflows on top of those data, you can complete it and you can run those workflows in like what, 4 to 5 minutes. That's how efficient Alteryx is. Alteryx is basically used for big data analysis. So creating pipelines and other stuff, it is very useful. And end-to-end automation. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, Sriram. Sairam.
Yeah. So I know what I would say is very basic overview of Alteryx. I mean, because we
Mm-hmm.
use some workflows which are developed by other users and we run them to extract data.
Okay.
And was having some discussion with a friend of mine. I mean, he is
Okay.
from data engineering domain.
Okay.
So while I was saying about this Alteryx tool, he was
Mm-hmm.
saying that I mean, uh, recently the Fabric has come in, and also we have Databricks. They have a tool called Databricks itself. I mean,
Yes.
these are what I would say, like I mean, they are like the
Yeah, got it. Got it. Got your point.
yeah.
So let's discuss about Databricks now. So what's the disadvantage of Databricks and what we can have more in Arctics? So in Databricks, what happens is you need to use PySpark and other components there, which
Mm.
requires at least some coding understanding, coding knowledge, and debugging stuff can also be a bit hard there. So that's where Artrix comes into picture. Business users don't like companies don't want developers to develop everything. They want the business users to develop their own stuff. They want the business user to maintain their own stuff. They want the business user to debug their own stuff. So
Your voice is breaking, SK.
that's
Hello.
where Artrix comes into picture. Artrix can be learned by any business user, anyone. Is it good now?
SK, I mean, it's breaking. Can you repeat the last few sentences?
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh, uh,
So
uh, can
what
I try?
companies are intending currently is they want the business users to. Yes, yes, Arun. Please continue.
Yeah, so I was just
Yeah, Arun,
using
continue.
your words, putting them in a different way. So the focus of Databricks has been big data processing and machine learning, basically. So you require coding expertise, you require Python and good knowledge of SQL, and of course
Okay.
you can build on Apache Spark for large data scale processing. It will support engineering workflows, will support advanced machine learning and all that, and it will have multi-cloud support. So, for example, if you're using in the financial services sector, Databricks can be used to process large volumes of transactions in real time for fraud detection, risk management, and the stuff. When you talk about MS Fabrics, MS Fabrics is unified data platform. Uh, it is used for data engineering, data science, machine learning. Again here, it's a user friendly thing. It will have native support for PySpark, Spark SQL, and all those things, and it integrates very well with Power BI. Now, when you compare it with Databricks or MS Fabric, because Alteryx is focused on automation. Automation is a big thing in the industry. You can have data from blending from various sources. You have data transformation, data enrichment. You can have predictive modeling, but majority of the people is gaining highest popularity because of its workflow automation, and it's a low code or no code. Whereas in other industries, they need knowledge of Python, because for most people who are learning Databricks and other things, they can be a good data engineer if they know good Python as well. So that becomes a constraint. Whereas in Alteryx, it does not become a constraint because it's a low code, no code, and the workflow that it can do for the business users without having to learn coding is an advantage.
Okay. So I was a bit concerned when you said that as I was thinking to start learning Alteryx, so that's why I was having this doubt. And also, one more thing. Uh, let's say in metros, let's say my metro only, Hyderabad. So
Yeah.
if we gain some expertise and let's say after spending 2 years with Alteryx, let's say after I spend 2 years with Alteryx, can we say it's a good experience and what kind of pay range can we expect in this domain?
Very easily, I think you can, depending upon, what part of Hyderabad or Bangalore you're in, or any of the metros for that matter. It's easily between, like he gave an example just now where a person was drawing 4.5 lakhs. I have seen personally that he's able to get a secure salary of 15 lakhs. So that is the thing you can expect with a 1 year experience. Some of the people, some of the freshers even have been able to secure a job with like 0 to 2 years experience, and in
Okay,
couple years you can actually double your salaries. That kind of a thing is happening with Alteryx.
okay,
I
that's
I
that's
I
great. That's
had
great.
I'll give you an example. Maybe SK doesn't even know about it. I'll give you an example of uh, Sanjay Chandra's brother who got through Sitco, and he was told that while we like the fact that you have done some NISM courses, some finance courses. He's an MB. He's an engineer who did some basic finance courses here and there, and he works for. Sorry, he did it from a place called Plant Finance, right? So he was told when he took the interview with Sitco, he was told, "Do you know Alteryx?" So he said, "No, sir, I do not know Alteryx as of now. I am learning it." So they told him that right now we'll take you in a generic category, but if you learn Alteryx, because we are into finance, and if you learned Alteryx, you would have a much better uh, not only a much better pay scale, but we can utilize you in various ways. But we absolutely want you to learn Alteryx. So he has taken up Alteryx and he's learning it. He has decided to have like a 1 or 2 months. He has given a time for himself and he's learning it. So if he can get it, being an absolute fresher, like he just passed out his engineering, like he just I think this year or last year in December he passed out and he did this. So so with Power BI, to get higher pay grade, you require more number of years than in Alteryx right now, simply because the fact that, which we have repeated like n times, simply because the demand is high and the number of people who have done it is low. Therefore, the candidates are still ruling the market. In the case of Power BI and Tableau, it is the market ruling the candidates. It's as simple as that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, sorry to lay this. I had some internet issues from my end. So just to let you know, currently it's in few companies. What's happening is people are using Alteryx like Excel. That's how rapidly it's growing. For example, JP Morgan and UBS. These two companies are providing Alteryx to almost every employee in their company, and they are using Alteryx as just like Excel. So there's like mandate for them to learn Alteryx. If you are good with Alteryx, we are very good. Like you will be getting
SK, SK
in
even
some
in
time you should not be
SK,
shocked
so
to
I'm in
see few
US,
companies,
even
more companies
even
coming
in
to this
US,
category where they'll be using.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. SK, even in US, what I'm seeing is it's like there's a short supply of Alteryx resources. So Alteryx is gaining so much of popularity, and my own friend is one of the executives in the Alteryx, and they just had a very worldwide conferences in like I think last month, a month and a half it's been. So he was telling me that it's growing so much in popularity that they'll be needing like tons of people, because most of the finance and investment companies are almost like having a mandate to like use Alteryx. Even if they have, versions of Power BI or versions of Tableau, they are finding it so good and easy to use, particularly for the business users, that they are almost mandating that if you know Alteryx, there are plenty of jobs available in spite of the so-called recession.
Exactly. That's what happened with one of my ex-student. He is like he has 16 years of experience. He was a manager in Dubai, and he joined my sessions. And after completion of sessions, he bought Alteryx into his from his referral I got, was so much interested in Alteryx that he convinced his management to bring Alteryx into his organization, and now his organization is using Alteryx a lot. Of course, they are
Right.
having limited licenses currently, but they are planning to expand it. So yeah,
Correct.
that's what the demand of Alteryx is.
So Sai Kripa is saying that the voice is breaking in between, but that's just, I think we'll have to do it like this. Um, okay, are there any other questions, guys, before SK talks about the details of the courses and how, what is the duration and what all things are covered in this? Are there any other
Yeah,
questions on Alteryx?
I have two questions. This is Kunal here. Hello.
Yeah, hi
Yeah, go
Kunal.
ahead,
Yes.
Kunal.
Yeah, so I have just two questions to just get a clarity on. So basically, I wanted to know that what kind of basic companies this Alteryx tool can be helpful to get a job, and second will be additional to Alteryx. Suppose I have expertise in Excel and micro and Power BI, okay, and I'm expanding my understanding in SQL, like learning SQL and all that Python. So my point will be, if learning Alteryx, what kind of with Alteryx, what are the other skill sets I should be having so that I can get a better opportunity in the market. So that's these are.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Coming to your first question, many companies are hiring for Alteryx, but the major companies which focus more is Big Four, big investment banks, and like consultancy firms. Consultancy like Accenture, TCS, Infosys, almost all consultancies.
Sure.
My
So,
screen is rolling, but I could have shown you all the companies here. There are multiple
yeah, I mean,
companies
if
which
you if
are
you go
using
to,
Alteryx.
so
And
if you
coming to your second question, yes, sir.
no, I was saying if you go to customer stories from Alteryx on their website, you will see a lot of success stories from customers. But I can tell you of the you know Walmart is using it. We have Ford is using it. Philips is using it. Johnson and Johnson is using it. Delta Airlines is using it for transportation. EY is using it for professional services. JP Morgan, Price Waterhouse, KPMG, Deloitte, Bank of America, where I think one of the students worked here. Pure Storage Company, Drua Information, Mohawk Industries, Europe-based companies in logistics. So there are lots of people. Accenture is using it. SCL is using it. Google Cloud Platform is using it. Auth, uh, Amazon Auth is using it. Snowflake is using it. Thomson Reuters is using it. UiPath is using it. So there are like too many companies. I mean, if you go to Google and say, give me a list of top 50 companies that are using Alteryx, and or if you go to Alteryx.com website and ask them this question, you will see thousands of customer stories that are using Alteryx in in India as well as uh, abroad. So you asked what kind of other skill set do I have if I want to use Alteryx? See, it depends on the role that you want to go in. So if you want to get into data analyst, so even for the data analyst, there are various titles. There is data analyst, reporting analyst, this analyst, that analyst. So depending upon the role you want to go in for, uh, if you want to, if you have only Excel, SQL, and Alteryx, you can still get a great job as a data analyst or some finance analyst or a business analyst or things like that. But if you want to learn uh, uh, later on, you want to move into senior roles, then of course it will be helpful. Uh, let's say if you want to go into finance domain, if you know something about the domain, little bit about the domain, it will be helpful. What else can be helpful is if let's say 5 years down the line you want to move into data engineering, that's when you pick up something about cloud computing, a little bit of data bricks. Those kind of things will help in the future. But is Alteryx, SQL, Excel is pretty much complete in itself. I
Okay.
hope I'm answering, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, I was thinking to add something with the from the Excel side, like VBA and all this stuff.
No.
With
VBA not
No,
at all.
VBA is not. See, VBA scripting is
uh,
something that is dying down.
oh, okay.
Many companies are not using VBA. Why? Because first of all, it requires more technical knowledge. Second is that it is very cumbersome. Alteryx is as much faster, more efficient than VBA. So people are replacing VBA. Many companies have replaced VBA. So I would not want to learn, like I would not want to go to a company, spend a month on learning VBA modeling and spend 10,000 rupees on it. No way.
Got it. Got it. So simple Excel, like formulas and preparing reports and all this stuff with this SQL and then Alteryx will make a better combination, right? Like as a role, something like that.
Yes, perfect. And about VBA, right? It is good if you can understand VBA scripts. That's it. If you're able to understand it, that's more than enough. Because currently, what's happening in the market is whatever VBA codes and which were built like 10 years, 12 years, 15 years ago, they have been converted to Alteryx workflows. So for that reason, it is good if you know how know to read the VBA script. That's it. If you don't know,
Got it.
that's also fine. Because
To
when you
convert it
have
into
business users
Alteryx,
to,
right? To
yeah,
get
to
make it convert it into Alteryx reports. Got it.
exactly. Because what happens in VBA is I worked on many projects from VBA to Alteryx because the time issue, the error handling, everything is not that much perfect in VBA, and there's a lot of risk involved there. So
Got it.
okay,
And
coming to the yes.
having just one thing, just and I have Power BI skills also. So
Yeah,
like very
visualization is very good. So if you can go with business analytics. So in
yes,
business analytics, you can if you know SQL basics SQL, in SQL just retrieving data from databases, that's more than enough. Alteryx very good. One visualization tool. These are very perfect combination.
See,
got it. Got it.
what happens today is, suppose I want to advertise for two different positions, one for Alteryx and one for Power BI. So if I'm having, let's just assume the worst. Let's assume that I'm having a little bit of recession or I don't have budgets. So I don't want to hire two people. I want to hire only one person. So there's a candidate A who knows only Power BI or who knows only Alteryx. Now there is another candidate who says I have a little bit of Power BI knowledge also, and I know Alteryx well. So obviously, the person who knows more than one skill will be preferred, right?
Correct.
Plus, the projects that SK teaches, depending upon your domain. So, let's say you are from engineering background. Let's say you're from finance background. You can learn how to do finance-based projects in Alteryx. If you are from supply chain background, you do supply chain projects in Alteryx. So you utilize your previous background. So when you go into a particular domain, you can say, hey, I have a little bit of domain knowledge. I'm not the expert on the domain, but I have good, decent, I can understand the lingo of the domain. For example, you go into real estate. Obviously, they'll expect you to know something little bit about real estate. Or you go into capital markets, they will assume you to know a little bit about what is trading, what is this, what is that. Uh, so if you know little bit, that will help you. So I guess along with the tool knowledge, if you have a little bit of domain knowledge, that should suffice. And that will come when you start building your project. Plus depending upon your background you come from, you will have some basic knowledge.
Got it. Got it. Arun, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, we have another
Okay.
question in chat. Can you tell us more on the use of Alteryx in data science domain? Is it also in demand? Like, yes, it is. So we have specifically for data science, we have AI and ML models in Alteryx, which are pre-configured, which are like configured by itself. We can build specific regression models. We can build many models in Alteryx which are pre-configured based on our requirement. Yes, it is. Alteryx is currently moving very rapidly in AI, ML, and data science. So yeah, it's also in demand.
Yeah, I would say that for data preparation, data handling, uh, for for example, if you go to retail industry, you can see a unified view of their performance. It can be used for advanced analytics in healthcare. It can be used for, like SK said, it can integrate with machine learning, all the libraries, the platform. So you'll be able to build and deploy machine learning models pretty fast. SK already talked about the fraud detection models in the financial services. That can be done in Alteryx. All the automation, for example, in the manufacturing industry, you can automate the data pipelines, right? It also integrates very well with Power BI, Tableau. So, um, if you go to a telecom industry, you can visualize. So, we have projects on the customer churn data where you can identify the trends of the data and you can develop retention strategies. So there are n number of projects in data science that benefit from Alteryx, along with other technologies, of course. I mean, if you know Power BI, great. If you don't know, it's great also. So
No, no, Arun, I would
projects,
recommend for data science, I would recommend Alteryx plus Python. Python, because in Alteryx, if you have good knowledge of Python, you can build your code and you can implement your outside code into Alteryx, process it, structure it, keep exception handling and everything in Alteryx itself. So you can build your custom
correct,
macros, you can build everything. Whatever
exactly.
Python you're doing outside, you can do the same in Alteryx. Yes.
Yeah, so I will say automation plus custom code. So whether you are using your own code or you are using configurable building blocks, you can use Alteryx to automate the data preparation, data blending, and transformation. So you can accelerate every step of the model lifecycle. You can do operations faster if you use Alteryx. So, so today these words may be sounding like mere management words to you, but once you learn the foundational concepts and you learn how to do a simple project, these terms, these technical terminologies will start making much more sense then. So having said that, SK, it might be a good idea to show what is, if you can put up a brochure on the screen and demonstrate to us what exactly is covered. Can you walk, I don't want to
Yeah.
walk through every single line, but if you can give us a high level idea of what all is covered and how long does it take to cover all this.
Okay, sure, sure. Give me a minute. I'll share my screen.
So while SK is
So,
bringing this up, in the past SK has done various kind of demos where he showed end to end how to build a simple workflow. But today we may have to skip it for obvious reasons. But he has done many demos in the past on how to be comfortable with one exercise using Alteryx.
okay.
Okay.
So, okay, got it. So, this is the content what we'll be covering. We'll be covering basic from very, very basics, reading, blending, and writing data to joining, parsing, and these are one second, till number five, number four. The first four concepts are more than enough to complete first two certification, Artrix core certification. Rest all are advanced concepts which will really help you guys to crack interviews to get a knowledge such that you have more than enough experience and you have worked on a specific tool in corporate. So, like server, server piece is something you'll know only if you work in a corporate. Server, I'm covering in the sessions so that you can showcase that you are pretty aware of server technology and everything, cloud technologies. And we have web analytics, we have macros, we have, okay, let me go through each concept day by line. These all are basic. Next, rejects. Rejects is something you might have heard about it in other tools as well. Like you might have heard about it in Python and in Java and other concepts. Similar concepts are applicable here, but it's very easy to write code here. Write code in the sense configure rejects tool here. You don't need multiple syntax and everything. It's very easy to understand and prepare data in rejects. We have reporting concepts. In reporting, we'll be covering almost everything. Let's say you are doing some reporting workflow, which you showcase the management. The management needs it in a perfect manner. They need this particular letter in red, this
Um,
particular
SK, we can't hear.
cell in
SK,
red,
we can't
it
hear
is
you.
particular formatting and everything. All can be done in Alteryx, and output can be saved in whatever means you need. It can be in Excel, it can be in PDF, it can be in PPT, whatever you need. Next, standard batch. Yeah. Oh, sorry, man. There's a lot of internet from my issue from my end. Like I got internet lost from 8:20, so I thought to
Yeah, it
go
must
out,
have
but
been raining.
browser not
Sometimes,
open at that time. So
sometimes when it rains, we
okay,
have some basic
so
problems.
we can.
So I guess if anybody has questions on the syllabus itself, one can reach out to SK, write them in the group, or if somebody knows, uh, wants some basic answers on a particular question, SK will be able to answer him as well. In the meantime, um, are there any other questions that we have left out so far? I know that the 50% of the new batch is already booked. So we have spaces, I think, maybe for 10 people. So that's why I told him to announce this so that we can have a demo, enroll people, and start the classes as soon as possible. So if this is something that interests you, you should reach out as soon as possible and book your seats, and let's get started.
Yeah, sorry for that. I had some internet issues there. So I was talking about. Let me know if I'm still there's still issue with my audio. Is my audio good? Yes, no, don't
Yeah,
know.
it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
S- So we will be covering rejects in Alteryx. We will be covering reporting tools in the sense, let's say you wanted to prepare some reports where you wanted to show this to management, higher management. So their formatting is plays a very crucial role. So for that reason, we cover all reporting tools. We cover standard macro, standard batch, and iterative macros. Iterative, I think we missed here, but we'll be covering iterative macros. We'll be covering analytical apps. We'll be covering server concept. We'll have web analytics, spatial analytics, data investigation tools, and there are all details, in-depth details. Apart from this, we will be covering all these certifications. We'll be covering
One
these
of the
certifications.
SK, one of the things that people wanted to know, one of the people that wrote to me in DM was, do you help or does the COE help people with LinkedIn optimization, resume optimization, and some interview prep as well?
Yes, yes, we do. We have LinkedIn optimization sessions. We have professional LinkedIn profile, creating LinkedIn profiles, and we have resume optimization sessions, and we have major product presentation seminars. These all are add-ons which we conduct periodically, and this will be
Fabulous.
covered in our sessions. And we'll be
And I
covering all
believe
this. Yeah, yeah, Arun.
I believe we also have a book club that is available to people. There are a lot of freebies that are available to people. There is a library that is available to people. There is portfolio review group which is available to people. So there is a massive community of people, of ex-students who have been successful students, that are also accessible to people, right?
Yes, yes, Arun. Yes. So, coming apart from that, we'll be covering all this certification just to give you a highlight. So these are all the certifications which will help you if you keep them in your resume. Majorly these two, last two certifications, core and advanced. If you are good with core, so you can showcase this in your resume, and you can tell that I have this much years of experience, and in my previous org I completed these certifications. That's how you can represent yourself.
Yeah, and anybody can go to Naukri.com or LinkedIn and go and check out what are the domains that, what are the companies asking for it, what's the domain, what's the experience. And if anybody has any residual questions, this is the time, guys. You have 2 or 3 days max where you reach out to SK, because once we start the batch, then for next 2 months we'll not, because SK does only one batch at a time,
Yep.
and he wants always SK wants to take a very small batch because he does not believe in getting 100 people signed up. He wants to pay focused attention to everybody. So so if you want to reach out to him, do it now. Do not wait until the last moment, because we start the batches and then we freeze it. We do not let more people join in. SK, would you give us an idea of the investment to be made in the course, if possible?
Yeah, so the fee structure is like 10K in total.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the fees what we have for artists. Like it's 10K.
I think we have optimized it for the COE members,
Yeah,
because in the overall market the fee is almost double of that.
obviously.
Plus,
So one of just
plus
let
they
me
are
give you
not
an
doing
example.
certifications. Yeah.
Yes, just let me give you an example. My first batch when I started artists batches, my first student was, he came via third party consultancy. He was paying 40K to them, and those consultancies paid 10K to me. So all these discussions I understood after the batch was completed. The person himself mentioned all these things. So that's how costly Artrix is. If you go outside, search for it, search Google it, search for Artrix training. Mostly you won't be getting Artrix training outside. Even if you're getting it, compare the prices. If you're getting some other price except 10K, less than 10K, just give it to me. I'll make it similar to that. Because in market, search for it, you won't get it less than 25.
Right.
And even
Absolutely.
if you're getting something right, syllabus, you need to compare the syllabus. Most of the people, what they do is they cover only these four concepts. These four concepts, these are first four concepts which they cover, and they say Artix is completed because they showcase that certification is something which indicates that you have knowledge. And to complete the certification, these four concepts are enough. Got my point, right?
Right.
So that's how it is. But you need to be cautious about what you're learning and how much you're learning. So yeah, that's all
I
from my
think
side.
I think SK, these are very good insights from your end. And again, I would want to invest 2 or 3 minutes if people have any other questions. Otherwise, we can wrap it up for today. And uh, so, guys, this is your last chance. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat. In addition, you can reach out to SK in person, talk to him, set up some time with him because he's a busy practitioner himself. So, set up some time with him, 4 or 5 minutes, in which if you have any other technical details you need, you can talk to him. SK, one thing I wanted to ask was, let's say somebody is having, because you know how an average technical person gets his salary in the month end, so he says, sir, I'm able to pay in installments. Is it possible to pay in two
Yeah.
equal installments?
Yes, that's also fine. You can pay it in installments. That's absolutely. So see, money is not something which I'm. matlab, Here, my main motto is to make you guys comfortable with Alteryx, let you guys understand this, and of course, increase my reach as well. So
Correct.
yeah, installments is not that much big of issue.
All right, thank you so much. So guys, one more chance, I'm asking again. Does anybody have any questions that you can think of that we have not covered so far?
Just one
Yeah.
question,
So
Arun. Uh, uh, Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
just wanted to tell like SK that SK, I'm belong from a different domain, right? And I want to
Hmm.
enter into this particular domain, like for consulting firm and all the companies what Arun has mentioned. So from the very big, like I'll be applying for a beginner role and kind of a thing, like into
What?
this.
1 second. Before going there,
Uh,
let's not apply to a beginner role. So,
okay,
what's your experience? Can you help me out there?
I have experience of around 5.5 years.
In
Okay, into data analytics only. Data
okay,
analytics purposes, like I have grown from MIS executive to MIS analyst. Now I'm working in an HR company as a business analyst designation, but not with the
okay,
proper work setup and all, like tech skills. So
bro. Just understand your Yeah, understand one thing. You have on paper you have data analyst. On paper you have a business analyst. So you can aim for HR analytics. HR analytics pay a lot. Like, don't I recommend never to get as go into a job as a fresher. If you have
okay.
experience, showcase your experience that in a manner which
Mhm.
which I mean which helps you out
Exactly.
in your interview. So don't showcase
Yeah.
that you are a fresher. You just
Yeah.
make sure
In
that.
your, yeah, SK, I would like to say that in his particular case, he can easily show that out of 5 years, uh, eh, that he has been doing data analytics for 5 years, out of which maybe 2 or 3 years he can show as Alteryx experience based upon his projects. So I don't want to, there are certain things which we can take in a person to person basis offline, and we can show you how to showcase your and highlight it in such a way that you are not treated like a fresher. In your case in particular, you should show that you are experienced.
Sure, sure.
So what does company need? They need their work to be done. And how do they do that? Because experience in the sense how much knowledge you have, how much you have worked and practiced on Alteryx. Let's say a person is having 2 to 3 years of experience, but he might have worked on Alteryx only for like 1 to 2 months.
Correct, correct.
Got my
Or
point, right?
probably or probably from your training only I get the understanding. But how will
Yes.
I utilize that skill and apply for a Alteryx role into a consulting firm or something like that? Correct,
Yeah. So hmm.
because I'll be having only Excel and Power BI skill, but from your after doing your course, if I want to apply, where will I land up? So that's the question I have. So
we
No,
have to
if
show
you
that
yeah.
we have to show that you have been doing Power BI along with the Alteryx for at least couple years in your case. How to do that? I don't think we can cover the details of it in a quick seminar. But I'll be personally very happy to help you, or SK will be able to help you how to showcase that along with the previous skills you had Alteryx skills all along.
Sure,
That's how
sure.
people are doing, to be honest, Kunal. That's how we are. People are doing here. Even Shiva, he at the end in like that's what happened. That's what is happening. If you're pretty good with your concept, and if you're pretty good with the concepts and understanding, you have pretty good projects in your hand, then there's no restriction on years of experience and everything. Knowledge is what they are looking at corporate.
Got it, SK. Thank you. Thanks.
And coming to Prashant's question, our sessions will start from 20th of this August, 5 days a week, morning 8:30 to 9:30. Sorry, 7:30 to 8:30 every day, Monday to Friday.
Okay, so 1 hour every day.
Yes,
Yeah, that way it's pretty good because one doesn't have to sit for very long hours.
yes,
You are fresh with the concept, you learn the concept, and you are able to quickly apply the concept on the same day.
yes. And
So
this
SK,
timing is
SK,
decided based on the few people who are working. Like currently, we have many students who are working working as a full-time jobs, where the job starts from 9:30, 10 or so. So in order to in order to accommodate everyone, we are making this time. We made this timing. Yes, Arun, please continue.
I'll ask two fun questions. The
Yeah.
first fun question is how much, so I will be sitting in a class for 1 day. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
learning basic concepts in every day, right? So
Yes.
how much extra time do I need every day to kind of absorb? Suppose I want to, you will be providing us some recordings, right?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
want to go through the recordings after the class. Um, uh, uh, so
Yeah.
how
So
how long do I have access to the recording, and how much work do I need to do daily?
yes, access to recording you will have for 1 year from the batch starting date, and from that period you need to make sure that like within that 1 year, I'm sure you will be completing everything. And extra time from time prospect, I would recommend 30 minutes on weekdays, 1.5 hour on weekends, because on weekends we'll be having assignments. So to complete that assignments, you need more time.
Hmm.
So apart from this, half an hour on weekends, I would recommend 1.5 hour every weekend.
Sir, SK, sorry to say that I don't want to, but many people ask what is the method to do you accept? You can close the recording if you want. Prem
Yeah,
Sai, can you
Kriti,
close the recording? We'll stay for a couple more minutes because I have to ask some other questions.
Prem Sai, Akriti. Okay.
In the meanwhile, can I ask a question?
Yeah, yeah, Sairam, please continue.
Yeah, so if you look at the macros and the analytical application, right, it sounds very, I would say, uh, highly technical stuff. So
Nah,
will it be possible for, let's say, finance guys or commerce guys to cope up and also to get up
easily.
running and faster with
Uh,
these things?
Yeah, easily, easily. So as I mentioned, right, most of the students here are from CA background. They are building
Mm.
their own